Hello, everybody. Today on Let's Talk FGO, we're going to talk about the Da Vinci and the Seven Counterfeit Heroic Spirits rerun, aka Jalter again, and also Lotto again, and also some stuff about Twitter followers, and hey, Babylonia is airing again, so stay tuned for all of our thoughts on that, and more. I am one of your hosts, the Horseman of Pestilence, Omega. With me, as always, is the man of many talents and many classes. It's Lucky.
Everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka the True Original. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should go spread counterfeits.
Yeah, so we're here. So I feel like I should, right off the top, just mention really quick. In case you didn't listen to that News Desk episode that I put out about the rerun, because it started last night, I've been sick the past week. I think my body was holding on until we did the first show of 2020, and then it was like, okay, you can be sick now. So, yes, apologies to everybody. There haven't been a lot of other videos. We didn't do a What's Up last week, etc. But everybody who listened to the episode was like, holy shit, Omega, you're dying. And I'm like, maybe just a little. So, I think I got away with it. I will probably still cough slightly or other stuff just because I'm starting to feel better, but I'm not, fine. I'm not unsick. But yeah, we're here. We're going to talk about FGO stuff. So now that I have waited long enough for hopefully the audience to be hooked, I would like to remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Haiku Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Sotosan0424, and VideoGamer75, and that one still anonymous person. So if you like what we do and want to support us, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. It really helps us out. Thank you for your support, as always.
Thank you.
Someday we'll have a cool graphics package, like we're the Corporation for Public Broadcasting or something. But, yeah, so we're here. We're doing the second LTFGO of the year.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be a shorter one. We'll see. Hopefully it's not too long, because I'm going to, fall asleep at midnight. But, yeah, so might as well go ahead and check in with everybody's favorite Kohai Mash real quick.
Senpai, 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips, the one that constantly reminds you that this YouTube channel is not for children. So today, I figured this would be relevant because there's a thing, which is that remember to unlock a costume. In case you haven't done it before, you must first acquire the key. This is usually a shop item or a quest reward. This can include the Mana Prism shop. There's a couple of permanent costumes in there, but generally it's those things. And you must have the selected servant in their final ascension and max level. I know that has tripped up some people before, including me. So then you actually go to the unlock wardrobe area of Da Vinci shop and have to spend materials. And QP, I think, because everything costs QP.
Everything costs QP.
But you just got 20 million QP, so...
Yeah.
Yay, getting more rewards because it's in the future.
Future!
But yeah, I figured I would remind everybody there because when Jalter's costume unlocks, that's going to be a primo option out there for people. I know I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
And with that out of the way, I guess we should go ahead and hop right into Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, guess what? It was double suck and half AP Embers, so I've been doing a lot of leveling. I have protected the smiles of Hokusai, Karna, and Abby. I'm still working on all the many other new servants I have. Also, I didn't note this down, but I finally rounded up Da Vinci's level to max 2 after getting her max ascension, which was a while ago. Yay, work!
I mean, I'm not sure if I forgot to mention this, but last week I both got Paul Bunyan and Asterios to 10-10-10 because they are precious. Paul Bunyan just because I started using her in my Ember clear teams. But, honestly, I haven't been working too hard on FGO recently. I did pull a random NP2 head nurse while throwing singles for Hokusai. So, there's something that's interesting. Head nurse is gonna head nurse harder, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. Danger. A lot of danger. But that's it for me.
Yep, just doing leveling stuff, leveling skills, all kinds of things. I just put Hokusai up to 444 earlier today because she's in my support list, and I was like, oh yeah, right, extra classes, they're weird. Yeah, Hokusai, in case you guys don't know and haven't looked yet, Hokusai takes bones directly for one of her skill levels. It's 10 a pop.
Oh, jeez. Oh no!
And then I think that's the first tier, so that's to go from 1 to 2. And then the next one is Void Dust, which I happen to have a shitload of now, but in the past I've had not a lot sometimes. And then to go from 3 to 4 is Pages, and I haven't gotten any farther, because I think the next one is Crystals, and I'm like, only got like 100 of those. I don't know if I want to drop 30 right away just yet. But yeah, and if I ever seem slightly distracted, it's because I'm doing a little bit of grinding right now, because I've been sick, so I've been going to sleep earlier, so I can no longer start events when they start at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But with that all out of the way, let's check in really quick and ask everybody, did you finish your master missions? The ones in this past week are pretty simple. You've got perform 30 FP summons, and you've got to defeat 15 Rider, Lancer, Caster, and Assassin class enemies, excluding servants and bosses. These are all separate missions. And then rounded out, defeat 30 enemies, period, including servants and bosses. Hey, so you probably should have done some dailies then. Punch some hands. Hand punching hands.
If there's any chance that you hadn't done it, it's basically easy as just going around through your maps and just finding nodes that have the relevant enemies on it.
I believe all the nodes in the Da Vinci Rerun are class sorted eventually too, so you can probably just pick this up by just farming the event like a normal person. So let's go ahead and move on into the news. It's pretty basic. I've been talking a lot. Lucky, why don't you talk about the news?
Alright, so we're gonna start over. Actually, I don't think we have any. No, we don't actually have any.
Because the only thing going on in JP right now is the Sparrow Inn Rerun, which we talked about last week because they announced it.
Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned, basically, they just added Yang to the bonus list, and there was something else that you said? I forgot.
They also added the new CEs from this New Year's to the list of bonus CEs.
Yeah,
so that's basically they just added the stuff from the New Year's to the bonus list, which is nice, but not a big deal.
Yeah. Not a big deal. So, as I said, that's going over here. Over here, though, 100k Twitter followers. Boom. 10 Saint Courts. Enjoy that. And the big thing that's happening right now that everyone was waiting for, excited for one reason or another, is Da Vinci 7 Heroic Spirits Rerun Light, running from January 10th to January 19th. It's typical rerun stuff. And I said, those who've already played it, they already know what to expect, but for all those new players, as I said, they might be finding this a little bit interesting. We got some stuff in the lotto and shop, like XPs and statues. Jalter's Shinjuku costume is in the shop. Cue cries of everyone screaming for Saber Alter's costume. We've also added the CQ, so people are going to be comparing notes on that later. And we have a banner with a rotating rate up between Da Vinci and Jalter with Siegfried, Emilia, Caesar, Alexander, Hector, Paracelsus, and Gil's caster on rate up at all times, along with CEs.
And I did not put this down in my notes, but if you want to check out the pregame for the episode, this episode is number 121. You want to go all the way back to episode 31 of Let's Talk FGO for the Da Vinci
90
pregame.
episodes ago.
Thousands of years ago. No, but it was a long fucking time.
That's a long fucking time. It's over a year in shows.
Yeah. That's almost 2 years of shows.
We've been doing this a while. So, I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't started the event quite yet. Actually, I'm trying to get some last minute embers, because we got 3 hours?
Yeah, you got 3 hours left.
And as I said, it takes me 5 minutes to fucking do an embers run, so...
Sadly, I would have, but we just rolled over to Caster Lancer? No. Caster Archer, that's right.
Yeah. See, look, he's a madman. I don't care what their class. I just keep shoving them in there.
Well, yeah, but I don't have those much as... If it was still Saber Rider, I'm still working on Drake. Oh, actually, did I... I can't remember. I probably didn't report it because I don't think I did it until next week. But also, I should add to my list, I finally got Santa Altera up to max level 2.
Oh, nice.
Listen, I did a lot of EXP farming. That's also easy to do while you're sick when you got a 3-turn setup. Push this button, pick up your Pokemons.
Oh, man, I said, I'm gonna just mention as a sign, getting Tomacat up to 90. Oh, she's doing a lot of pain.
What MP level is your Tomacat anyway?
5?
Yeah. Well, once you start getting up there, they slap pretty hard. I think Fran is MP 3 or 4 for me. And also Fran has one of the hardest hitting NPs in the game with her power-up skill, Overload.
Mm-hmm.
It's always my third tier. Literally, I just did because you can only do so many story quests, it's time locked.
Mhm.
I just did the first 2 before we started recording the show while I was, eating dinner and stuff, and I just used my 3-turn farming setup, because why wouldn't I? And just, oh, hey, they all died. What's this? Only 2 waves? Well, then I guess it's just a Rash and Lancelot, then.
Get dunked on, son. As I said, actually, I've mentioned, I was talking about this with the Discord. I'm probably gonna do a stream after we finish recording, because, I have a small story to tell. Well, actually, I can tell it right now. Basically, last night when, Hokusai, switched over, I didn't have, a full, I think I had, 21 quartz, 18 quartz, something like, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna throw it to Hokusai, what am I gonna get? I got an MP2 Nightingale, so I'm like, I'm not mad. I got something good. I forget, is Nightingale's is standard, right?
Yeah, she's permanent.
Yeah, she's permanent, yeah, so it's like, but as I said, all the throwing I've done down, this is the first Nightingale I've gotten since the America chapter when I got my first Nightingale. So I'm
which is also 2 years ago, jeez.
Yeah, so I'm like, I like Nightingale, I like her NP. I think it's fun. So I'm not mad, but I'm just all like, man. And then another one of our,
What was that? What was that, Lucky? Did you become a ghost? Is that what you were saying? Okay. We're back on the air.
Okay, I apologize. I just got ghosted once again. I was just telling Omega, I think the worst thing about... It's usually not as noticeable when I ghost when Omega's talking, but when I'm mid-sentence and all of a sudden I stop, you all know what happened, so I apologize for that. I do want to let everyone know, though, I did just get a full-time job. I start Monday, and hopefully that means within a month or so I'll have the money to buy the parts I need to fix this computer, as I said. Hopefully. I just gotta, show up to work, before the even sun has risen, and do manual labor for 8 hours. Yay! But anyway, as I was talking,
hopefully
saying,
you'll still be able to get some shorter streams in the afternoon.
Oh no, that's what I was planning actually, because I'll get back to the story I was telling you earlier, but the hours that I'm probably looking at right about now is 7 to 3 Pacific Standard Time. I have to take the bus home, and excuse me. And so I'll probably be getting home around 4-ish. I can pop in a quick meal and probably set up the stream before 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I could probably do 4-hour streams, take my shower and go to bed, because I don't know, we'll see. I'm making plans. It's not going to be a daily thing, but I'm going to try for maybe 3 times a week. Maybe a stream Monday, a stream Wednesday, and a big stream on the weekend. Not entirely sure.
Poke my mic on a little there.
As I said, I'm workshopping it in my head, but there are plans, because I do know that I haven't streamed at all,
basically since the new year, but also there was nothing to stream other than Punch Hands.
Yeah.
Well, you could have streamed other games, which some people have requested, but...
Yeah. But, so, yeah, but as I was saying, this goes back into the previous topic. Yesterday, one of our Discord members, was talking about how they were gonna throw down for Hokusai, and everyone's all like, oh, do it! And they didn't get her initially. And, they pulled, a lucky move, and just said, basically said, this will not stand. And we were all like, oh no! The whole Discord was like, oh no, hold him back! Because we were expecting, tragedy to happen. No, immediately, next, fucking pool, got Hokusai, and Q Lucky in the background, just what? Nani the fuck? Congrats, though, but Nani the fuck? And, the Discord member was like, sometimes you just gotta brute force it, I guess. I was all like, someone give me $80 so I can brute force and get Hokusai. I said that in a half-joking state, but, if someone was gonna give me $80, I would not turn him down. Fast forward to today, when someone actually contacted me, so hey, how badly do you want Hokusai? And they showed me, and they took a screenshot of me saying, give me $80. And they're like, I can give you $80. I'm all like, and I was like, are you sure? You could use that money for something else. They're like, no, I'm fine with it. It's cool. I'm like, well, okay then.
In general, we do not, like, with the fan base, we do not turn down your generosity, but also we want to make sure that you're, like, it's like with real life, it's like, are you sure you want to give me something?
Yeah. Like, that's what I do. I always gotta make sure it's like, we gotta do the, have you read the rules and agreements? You sure? Alright then. And they said, yeah, they basically said, like, yeah, no, nah, they got it. They got plans, they know what they're doing, so I was like, okay. So I got a 80-pack on my account right now that I haven't spent yet, because when, I think such generosity should be displayed, and so I'm going to do these rules during a stream, most likely after we finish recording today. And I figured I might as well do, since it's Friday. Actually, I could just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just do my big stream after recording. That might work. We'll see. But,
he's workshopping.
I'm workshopping.
It's our excuse for everything. We're workshopping it, okay?
But, yeah, so I figured, because I also haven't started the Vinci, I haven't started the Vinci rerun, so I was like, I could do that. I can do that as well.
And there's, like, I think there's, like, 3 total pips, 2 chapters you can do, so that should be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and, just do story, keck over jokes that I have probably long forgotten.
I may or may not, not that it's relevant to the recording. I may or may not have in the future past hung out then. I don't know. It depends on how I feel after recording, because I am still a little bit sick, so I get a little tired out.
Yeah. But, look forward to that. As I said, if you are listening to this in the future present, I should say, yeah, there'll probably be a stream archive. See, like, here's the other thing that, like, I wonder about streaming. From what I got from our audience, people don't really seem to mind either way, whether it's a live stream or, like, a pre-recorded thing that's been edited. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, if I want to, because on our channel, somewhere, very, very deep in all our videos, God, we got a lot of videos. There's a complete Let's Play of me playing the first BioShock, which is of middling quality because lighting is weird on my computer for some odd reason. And, like, half a play of Dead Space. And I have heard from people that they did like my BioShock playthrough. And some people are interested in more stuff like that. I'm just like, well, for one, I'm not going to do it while I have this, with this janky-ass computer that dies on me at any moment.
Nope.
Nope. But in the future, once I saved up about $300 to $400, and replace some critical components, that will, X actually brings up, when I was streaming Subnautica just on Discord, apparently it was a lot darker just in there than it was, for me.
Yeah, we had some visibility problems that were fun. Subnautica was fun.
Yeah, Subnautica was fun. I enjoyed that. So, yeah, I gotta figure out, first off, I gotta figure out what's going on.
That seems like it's a thing that happens sometimes with captures. I don't know how exactly or where.
Sorry, in our Patreon chat, our Discord has this, I would call it this good and bad habit of screen capping, any and everything.
We have a couple of people who have gotten in the habit of screen capping certain things. So we have our own in-house reaction images. For instance, everybody has their preferred ones. For instance, at one point, our esteemed camper Wen, longtime community member, said, "Oh no," in bold to something where it was an "oh no" situation, which was immediately screen capped. And then at some point, he posted himself saying that that as an image, which was screen capped, so there's a double "oh no," which is my preferred, is to do the double. But at one point then, I said, almost typed "oh no" manually like an idiot, and then the image, which is now some people's preferred method to do "oh no." And then there was one point where they tried to, like, "oh no"ception that went on a little too long and was a little freaky, but eventually they got bored and stopped, and we don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't bring it up.
My, "oh no" was actually me doing a miss by mine is "on the no."
Yes, you have the "on a no," which is used occasionally. You also commented that your, like, 4-step Murica is used a lot.
It is. But, no,
I'm gonna murder somebody real quick.
Do it.
In art.
So Lawful. Oh. Is it that guy again? So.
No, I'm killing somebody else with art.
Oh. But referencing back to the Subnautica, something I said was, well, they had to type it out, but I was bumping into things randomly, and I just muttered under my breath, I gotta stop thinking about titty. So someone typed up, Lucky, currently underwater and looking for materials. I gotta stop thinking about titty.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a definite theme with your,
I want to see who's murdering and not dump real quick here, though.
Your subs. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
also saved, that was my reaction to Taiho's skin, I think, was Inhale.
Danger Zone! It is Danger Zone.
Well, there's a lot of zones of danger.
It was. No. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I think my favorite...
What was that? You broke up there. Oh, he's just gone. He's not even ghosted. He just exploded. Wow. Okay, we're in pause. We were talking off air about how sudden that explosion was, where you were just talking, and then you were just not even like ghosting. You were just gone. Oh, this little bitch, fake Jekyll. He survived with like 400 HP. Oh yeah. So earlier during the previous ghosting, I was talking off mic with the audience because I'm doing some of the farming quests. That man. At least the way before we get into the monoclass nodes, the way these are set up for the like novice intermediate and stuff, I'm like, gosh, I really wish we had that Knights version of Alter Ego. Because it's like, okay, so it can be any combination of sabers, lancers, and archers. Okay, thanks, guys. That's great. I don't have, I guess Berserkers is my universal button for that, or just because they're all bronze, bring a rash, but still.
Boom.
Yes, but we were talking about you streaming and stuff, and how there was a singular focus, because we really, honestly, now that we've talked about the Da Vinci rerun existing, we have talked about literally everything this week in terms of news. Yeah, we are not even 30 minutes into the episode yet.
I will continue to faff. Because, before I was ghosting, I was going to mention, I think actually my favorite screen cap that we have, right, is it's actually one of them, it goes, hey, camper, die! And proceeds to post art that kills camper. There's a reason. Yeah. That one's my favorite. Because every time I see the die, that's how I imagine. I imagine fucking sheep just going, die!
Yeah, no, that's how it is. It's like, it's just like a casual, like imagine we're an office sitcom, we're just sitting there in the cubicle, and I'm like, hey camper, die! And just, Camper's dick explodes and turns into a crater or something. That's a quote that saved Camper. I'm not embarrassing you. It's already on the internet forever. Somebody saved that on the computer. I'm pretty sure somebody has that screen cap. Anyway, now somebody's just posting to Pokemons. Which again, like I said, we'll talk about that more on WhatsApp, but as usual, hey, there was a cute girl design, so immediately the art exploded. That's weird. Somebody who was already a member of the server just joined again. Did they leave? Did somebody get rid of him? Oh, interesting. Didn't notice that. Okay, well, he's back. Hopefully they have a better mentality. This is all still live, because I think Lucky exploded again. He's quiet. Don't worry, audience. We'll edit this all together.
Again, let's see how many words I can get out before I die again.
All right, yeah, so we've been having while Lucky is constantly phasing in and out of reality, we've been having a back and forth, both on Discord etiquette, where apparently a rude person tried to clap back a little too fast, and the mods caught him.
Yeah.
So, just be careful about your sass. We got a golden rule.
Well, like, again, I just want to oh, actually, no, I don't mean to cut you off. Finish what you're saying.
No, that was just it. It was just, that's our rule 0, is the golden rule. I changed it because apparently, saying don't be a dick was too subjective, so now it's just the golden rule.
Well, I still like to reference it as don't be a dick. And
well, that's my subtitle. My subtitle in quotes is don't be a dick, because that's how I mean it, but
yeah, I've
come to understand through feedback that that's not necessarily a universal concept.
Yeah. Well, as everyone has this variation on what a dick means, but just keep in mind, whatever you say, someone can react to that, and they might react to it in a wildly different manner than you may be expecting, so have a measure of tact. It's great.
Yeah, I think the full version is like, even if you can't be civil, at least be friendly. There's no reason to intentionally be rude or unpleasant to people. I think the word toxic is used. That's a common buzzword. Anyway, the other thing is we were talking about support setups, and I linked some guides, which we have in our Discord and stuff, pinned and whatever.
Yep.
Because we're doing stuff. And
we're doing stuff.
The event right now.
I need to punch more embers. Stop it. Stop. I gotta figure out if it's my charge port that's wiggly or my charging cable that's wiggly, because
it's they're your cable. But I don't know, actually. I have that problem too sometimes.
Yeah. So I need to get back to farming embers. Yeah. So apparently, we have some good tech boys in our Discord, and someone told me that the security check, the kernel security check failure, is basically one of my drives not clicking on all cylinders and my computer losing its goddamn mind, which is what I kind of understood, but I've been trying to update my drivers and it hasn't worked in there somewhere. I don't know. I gotta find out. Like, honestly, what I need is a program that'll just say, download more RAM. Well, that's the thing, like, I have updated, like, all the drivers that I know of. And I don't know, Axe, Vesper has been pretty helpful right now. So.
Well, yeah, Vesper's being a little sassy, but at the same time, it's like, that's also a very classic joke. Just download more RAM.
Yeah.
That's my little advice right there. Well, there was your problem. Expecting too much of Vesper. By the way, we have well, it's not fair to say. Camper just posted something very funny. It's not fair to say this is a bigger audience than last week, because that was very big. That was a live show. We had a shitload of people in here. But it may be because we're recording a little bit later than usual, but we have quite a lot of people in the live chat with our patrons right now. It's helpful. Oh man, that's hard work though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm consistently anything. Anyway.
I'm consistently lucky. And by I mean, the evils. I'm gonna save that. The evil to defeat it is useful. What movie was that from again? I forgot. Oh, wasn't it was it Cabin in the Woods?
Shrug.
I can't remember. Jude was flexing. Omega's like, ever remember to pet your mods? Kind reminder, technically Lucky is also a mod, so don't forget to pet your Lucky. So, let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna go digging in.
I gotta make a command.
For what?
Well, Loth was like, is there a pet command? Well, now there needs to be. Hold on, I gotta open up B6. I'm not... Welcome to the first show of the year was a big deal. It was our first live show. We were just coming back. It was, number 120. There was a shitload of news for New Year's. There's nothing. There's nothing going on. Da Vinci is like a day old. There's nothing to talk about other than a couple of story quests, but Lucky hasn't even done them yet. He's going to do it on stream and be way funnier about it.
I hope.
So, welcome to the first nothing show of 2020, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll have timestamps and you can just skip all this Faff part. Robin, in the timestamps, make sure to just call this whole part Faff talk, not even free talk. This is just nonsense. This is just a bunch of nonsense in the middle of the show. I'm going to check the mission clock. We've just crossed the 30-minute mark. Oh, boy.
Don't worry, I can keep going. So... Oh, wow, I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid my computer might ghost me if I try to call it out. Shit! This is a Mexican standoff. Well, not Mexican. This is a fucking standoff between me and my computer. No, let's make it Mexican. Let's put a Meg in. Let's put a Meg in there, too. Why not? Meg is just like, why am I here? It's great. But, Canadian standoff. A Canadian standoff will just be two guys constantly saying, I'm sorry to each other.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's
yeah, apparently, they've updated Me6's custom commands, because now he can hopefully auto-roll works, because I always try to do that when we do, like, team events and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But also there's advanced and simple text commands. So, hold on. We're gonna add exclamation pet.
He's typing?
Yeah, I'm typing.
Okay,
It is. Okay, good.
Alright, so... Okay, so I guess Lucky's gonna have to figure out... God, like... I've tried like to find programs where they can say, all right, yeah, well, we can find all your drivers and, update all of them. Just pay us like $20. I'm like, doubt?
Yeah, I know. That's always... It's the same with, like, registry fixes and stuff. Like, usually you can find decent free tools. Like, I used, God bless, CC Cleaner. It helps me make sure I'm not wasting too much space.
Actually, I should actually buy CC Cleaner. They do good work. I trust them. But, yeah, like, I find these other ones, it's like, yeah, it looks like you got some good shit here, but if I give you this money and this doesn't actually fix my problem, then I've just wasted money and you're gonna run away to the bank. I'm like, So I'm always a little curious, but shit, if that fixes my fucking computer and I don't have to go, like, buy more new hardware, that's great. That's gonna be 300 future bucks to probably waste on fucking gacha. Well, I can't say waste, because I will enjoy the experience. I'd like to tell a lot of people, it's like, I completely know what I'm doing when I'm throwing ridiculous amounts of money on the gacha. I'm basically feeding my fucking gambling addiction, and I know and accept that. Do I know I'm usually making a bad decision? Yeah. But I enjoy it anyways. It's just usually I spend a little bit too much money on that, and that's where it becomes a problem. It's not that...
Right, it's... You know your limits, but then you're like, but wait, anime taught me to go beyond my limits. And then you're like, no, Lucky, that's your wallet that you're going beyond.
So I'm
it's
just
like,
like...
it's just like anime. We're talking about, we're fucking King Kai up in here. We're like, no, Lucky, you can't go to ×4 wallet. It won't survive. Literally, it won't, because he doesn't have the money.
Yeah. As I said, like, right now I'm in a weird place because it's like, I want a Hokusai, but I'm not, like, driven. Well, excuse me, my friend just gave me the best Geralt gif.
That reminds me. That's another What's Up conversation, but because I've been watching a lot of Netflix, I've been wondering, I've literally never played a Witcher game or read a book. Can I watch the Witcher TV series? Will I care?
We post that.
So I'll talk to the audience about that later, because I'm busy with other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about live TV. What's up? So what's up? Let's see here. So, like I said, like, yeah, if I can get these drivers fucking fixed, that means, I can get my editing software up. I still need to make a thumbnail.
That's right. That's the thing.
That's a thing. Let me try. Let me open up some programs. But I can get my editing software back up and running. My art software could probably be okay. As I said, I can record, probably stream, all that stuff. Because as I said, like, I've noticed ever since I've gotten on this computer and I have to deal with just random ghosting, I've been using my computer a lot less. Just because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it. So yeah, I guess I gotta, like, maybe when I get like some more cash, I will throw down for one of those. Yeah, we can update all your drivers. Maybe I'll do some research, find
the one that works. Yeah, check on your PC Gamer and all your other websites. Who's fuck? I'm like I said, I'm still half sick, so it's like, what are names? What is time? I don't know. There's a couple of websites you always go to.
Yeah, I'll do some research and see if that fixes the problem. If not, well, then it's gonna be, because I guess spending $20 now and maybe fixing the problem is better than spending $300 for a problem that didn't need that could have been fixed another way. I guess.
Hey, Vesper, that one you just posted got me a genuine chuckle.
What do you post?
It's in general.
Oh.
I was just minding my own business typing something, and then it was like, Vesper just cruises in with a reaction image, and I'm just like...
He's bitching about Star Wars. Is he alright?
It tickled my fancy.
Oh my god.
But alright, so, yes, this is Let's Talk FGO, the show where we talk about streaming and computers and Discord. Oh wait, those are all actually relevant. Who knew?
Yeah. Lucky has Faff EX. But, yeah, like, honestly, because I do want to get my editing software up, because as I said, we are talking maybe about doing a welfare video, and
Yes,
I'm
and
gonna
our
say
continuing plans to expand the brand, which
Mhm.
rhymes. I didn't plan for it to rhyme when I started that sentence. Yes, because people commonly requested it. We talked about this a little bit last week. We're like, we could probably do a welfare video at some point. Make sure to just
Yeah.
get it out early in the year.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, I need my computer to not die at a random interval. So I'm just like, otherwise I'm going to lose. Like, let me tell you right now, Lucky's not great about saving. I usually save, like, something, like, before I close a program. I don't, like, ever do it, like, mid. Oh, excuse me. Like a mid project. It's, I open it up, I work on it. When I'm done for the day, I save, I close, I go about my merry way. If my computer is randomly crashing in between those 2 points, I'm just going to lose all that work and have to start all over. And that happens a couple times, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be floored, like, being all like, why is this my life? Why do I have an image called Dad Titties on my computer?
I don't know.
Hang on, I got... This is one of the ones I captured. Oh, it's one of our... Actually, let me post it. Because it's funny. Because, heaven help you if you misspell something on our Discord that can be misconstrued as something, because we will snap that up.
Oh no, we have... the phrasing emote exists solely just so I can punish you for a double entendre. And by punish you, I mean chuckle. That's right. I remember that now.
I just posted it in our Patreon chat.
Yes, Vesper had that. Which reminds me, I actually got a comment about because I said the name of the last episode was "Start 2020 Off with a Yang," which was not necessarily a deliberate Rooster Teeth reference, but I am a longtime fan, and Lucky and I have watched RWBY in the past. But yes, as Vesper put it, we Ryan people hard if you follow Achievement Hunter. We're just like, did you just fuck up a word? Oh boy. You better get on the edit button quick, but you're probably not that quick.
Nope. I see something, the first thing I do is hit print screen. It is mine forever! Okay, I got completely distracted as soon as I saw fucking Dad Titties, so I have no idea what I was talking about before that.
Oh, you were talking about not saving. And I know a lot of programs these days do some decent autosave stuff. Like, I've recovered some stuff out of Audacity before I bought an UPS because my computer doesn't die. The natural flow of electricity from those weird stick things in the ground dies sometimes here. It's called nature, kids. You get used to it. But now I have a battery backup, so that doesn't happen. But in the past, I've usually had pretty good ideas recovering that stuff in, like, Movie Maker or Audacity.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good time to...
Had to take a nose blow break.
Use that GIF. Or GIF. However you say it. I don't give a fuck. But... Yeah, so... I can't commit to doing any editing work until I have a computer that's not going to die on me randomly and make me lose my fucking sand score.
Yeah, and before that we were talking about expanding the brand, like, because I teased that we'll be doing some different stuff with Wanted this year, and like you said, we'll probably do a welfare thing. Lucky's going to try and obviously it started last year, but you're going to try and stream more FGO consistently throughout the year, stuff like that. Though that does remind me, I was going to bring this up earlier, but I forgot because I'm tired and easily distracted. We're like monkeys with shiny keys.
Oh my god.
If you're interested in how I feel about 7 Counterfeit Heroic Spirits. Way back, like 2 years ago, I had a phone that actually had enough RAM and stuff to record video. So, that's one of the events that I actually recorded me playing all the main story and posted it to the channel in short, usually quest by quest chunks with battles and stuff. So, I don't really know how good it is or how good it sounds, but it exists if you want to go pop open the archives. And did I? No, I did. That's why we know it was like a million years ago, is because I remembered to say the number of the episode we did the pregame. And I am typing in a general rule, which is nobody should ever come to us for pronunciation.
Oh my god, that reminds me. Actually, that reminds me of something. As Lucky continues to fucking faff. So last week when we were talking about Lost Pellets, we might have mispronounced Kirei's name.
Yes.
Pronounced it Kirie. Which technically is incorrect, but here's the thing. Japanese is a little weird. Like, depending on how you stress the vowels, it can kind of mean something weird. Like, apparently the proper way to pronounce Kirei's name is you give it, like, kind of a long I, but not too long, because then it becomes two I's. But, like, here's the thing.
It's not the double I sound, it's one I, but it's the EI.
Yeah.
Kirei.
Kirei. So, but here's the other thing. Kirei also means pretty in Japanese. So, like,
it's like
put
the
these
classic kawaii kowai problem.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I was like, oh my god, now he just went from a shitty priest to a pretty priest, and I can't handle that.
It's a problem with tonal languages. You have to really watch your pronunciation. It's why romanization of a lot of names make sure to stress the actually physically spell out double vowel or combined vowel. Like you may see Shiro's name written as Shiro with just the long O, or actually Shiro with like OU to emphasize that in English type speech, that's how you should emphasize the vowels.
Yeah.
But it's not a double O, for instance. It's not like Shiru.
So, yeah, so...
long O. Like, that's why, for instance, the title of the game, Okami, has the little dash over the O. It's a long O. Okami. And I've even seen some people write the word for wolf with a double O.
Yeah, same. So, yeah, it's a little weird. But... So I was thinking about that. So yeah, it's Kirei Kotomine. But the person who mentioned that to us was like, that really grinds my gears, and I'm just and in typical SAS fashion, I got on my own personal account because
your infinity. I was gonna say something funny, but then I ran out of throat wet juice.
Yep,
coughed. I'm
sick.
You want
to finish it? Yeah.
You got on your personal account.
So I got on my personal account, responded, it's like, hi, we're Studio Mega. We fuck up names in the past, we fuck up names in the present, and we fuck up names in the future. And it's just like, yeah, that's how we do. Also, like, speaking about pronunciations, something that kills me every single fucking day, every time I think about it. I recently got to see how they spelled Archer in Japanese, specifically in katakana. It's literally A dash, which means it's a long A, then the character for cha, and then another dash.
Cha.
No,
that sounds about right.
So it's just cha. That's it. That's how they say it, and it kills me every single fucking time.
No, you don't think about that, but no, that's how they phonetically say it.
That's how they phonetically say it. It's just cha. And
well,
so
also, right now they're talking about how sometimes the JP, because apparently, in the dominant dialects in Indian, the trailing A is silent, so you don't say at the end of karna. It should be just karn. But fucking silent vowels, dude. Who needs that shit? But it's in JP they still pronounce the A, so it's like, karna, etc. Arjuna. But that does remind me of, we've talked about this, for instance, how, like, in Japanese they pronounce it Elkidu, because they apparently had some kind of transcription error, and other stuff like that. There's a couple of other... What characters was it recently? I was like, man, this is a little weird. Was it something in the Moonlight Lost Room? It might have been, but there's a lot of these weird stuff when you transliterate. Japanese has that problem because L and R have parity in Japanese. They're the same sound, so that's why you get your classic racist Japanese accent, making all your R's, L's, etc. But also just, that's a quirk of the language. So you get that kind of little trick.
Mm-hmm.
And right now everybody is talking about all the various things going on with pronunciation of Indian characters' names. But yes, so let's see. Speaking of anime pronunciation, though, that's the only really thing we're stalling for, is to talk about Babylonia.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to get us at least close to an hour.
We're at like 50 minutes. We'll probably get over an hour.
Okay, that's good then. All right, I'll disengage the Faff reactor.
Power that down. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, Babylonia is back, everybody. So, hey, here's our usual spoiler rule if you've missed out on it. We're not going to talk about anything super important after this, so if you don't want to hear Babylonia spoilers because you're not following it live or week to week or whatever, or you're like 4 weeks behind, you can just tune out now and come back in the outro or whatever, and we're hopefully going to have timestamps, so it's even easier now.
Yeah,
Even easier. Oh, well, actually, they're talking about the L's and R's. We can talk about that really quick, which is just, that was a lot of thing, because a lot of people were, in the community, were transliterating Gordolf's name as Goldorf, with the L's and R's reversed, basically, in that. Mm-hmm. But we get to the official English localization, it's Gordolf. Gordolf. Anyway, Babylonias.
Yeah.
Babylonias. I watched this one today, as is my usual tradition, because I've been sick and I haven't watched a lot of stuff. Other than that, once again, when we get to What's Up, I have watched one specific episode of My Hero Academia like 5 times. A recent one, because it's the bestest. Anyway, the Babylonias. So, the cold open is Gil's having a chuckles because they finished developing the fangs of We're bad at names. Those will be important later, probably. But then he sends Siduri away. And then we get the new OP. And I've been told by fans that it is the second verse of the same song that was the original OP.
Yep, it's still a Phantom joke.
So I'll say, we talk about subjectively. I will say, while some of the shots in the OP are interesting, I don't think necessarily, it's a lot more stylized, which I don't think seems as impressive as the first OP that had a lot more like motion shots and like action teases, or some sweeping like landscape shots.
I feel like it had, like personally, I feel like it had less animation and more just After Effects.
Like, I get what they're going for. Like, there's one scene where they like play off all the lit up lines and like they got the swirling sand effect, but also it's like, boy howdy, there's a lot less animating going on. You're right. It's just, let's just throw a fucking After Effects filter back there. Swirling sands. It's like, okay.
Color changes.
And honestly, the OP song is not really my style of music. Like, that's just personal preference, though. So it's like, I think I like the first one a little bit better.
Yeah, as I said, like, for me, what made me like the OP song is how it meshed well with the first OP's animation.
Well, there's not as much animation in this one, so
I'm just like,
they have a couple of interesting shots, like, because it's actually out now, they can show some shots of basically corroded Ushi, and they can also do some, there's a couple of explicit sweeping shots of Eresh and comparing her to Ishtar.
I think I might have, like, imagined it, but I think I might have saw a flash of Tiamat somewhere.
Yeah, people have definitely called you out and been like, oh man, Lucky's gonna be so excited, because Tiamat's currently your profile pic on Discord, though your nickname currently is Lucky Boo Do Not Pursue.
That's a Monster Hunter story.
Yeah, you can tell some Monster Hunter stories on... I don't think you've told them on What's Up yet, because I was dead last week. Yeah. For those who are keeping track at home, currently, I decided to keep my role as Saver for a while until a better joke comes along, just for a little bit of consistency, but my name is currently Cyber Omega 2020, because it is no longer the holidays, it is now 2020. We cyberpunk.
We are cyberpunk. Maybe I should make a Final Fantasy VII joke of mine after I get bored of Lucky Boo. Do not pursue.
But, yeah, there is definitely one shot that people were like, oh man, Lucky's got to, because there's like one frame or two with teases of Tiamat and the Lahamus in it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember it personally, but I don't know if I was paying too deep an attention. I was just like, I want to make sure I watch the show. So after the OP, we cut back to where we ended before the break, which is, Lamentations, our king is dead. Which causes everybody to freak out. Merlin in particular is like, dude, what the fuck?
This is impossible, how dare!
And then Romani is like, also, this is impossible, the fuck. But they managed to logic it out. Gilgamesh is kind of a legendary hero of the Age of Gods, so it's not normal for him to just keel over dead. Gee, I wonder what it could have been. And then they logic it through and they're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people who have been feeble who have died. I wonder who it is. And now that Ketz is on the team, she's able to go like, oh, it must be the work of the Three Goddess Alliance. The third member of the team, Ereshkigal, Goddess of the Dead. which leads to lots and lots of freak out about Ishtar not actually being in the Three Goddess Alliance, which is confusing because, in case you forgot, Ishtar told Merlin, Mash, and Fujimaru that she was in the Three Goddess Alliance. But also they never fact-check with that with her during the daytime, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, it all basically comes spilling out, and they kind of explain everything. Ishtar has a lot of grand Rin freakouts. So many great frames of animation, and we're not even to that part yet. It's just this part is just so many, she squats on the floor, she leans into the camera, lots of yelling. Very smooth, expressive animation. But they hash it all out. So, Eresh calls the goddess of the underworld her Galu spirits, which I think in Japanese they literally say Galure, because Rei is a word for spirit, also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They take the sick and the weak first, so the people who are exhausted, and it sounds like one of them has just scooped up the king. Which means we can just go bail him out. And they're like, really? We can? And they're like, yeah, no, you can just physically walk to the underworld. It's the Age of Gods, dude. The underworld is literally right there.
It's literally underneath you.
So they basically, Ketz is like, hey Ishtar, you've been to the underworld before, you can go, right? And she's just like, really? Alright, fine, I'll do it. Lights up a gem cigarette and is like, okay, we'll go. We do the thing that happened in the primary story, which is like, Ketz is like, can't go, I'm a super good goddess, there's no sun in the underworld, I'll be completely useless. And Merlin is like, yeah, same, I'll stay here. And Ishtar very nicely is like, because obviously the mortals among us have to go, the Master and the Mash, but she's like, hey, are you guys sure? And it's like, the underworld's not a fucking cakewalk, okay? It's not like going to Disneyland. It sucks down there. Are you sure you want to go? Yes. Then we get to the bottom of Uruk, and she's like, okay, Merlin, you stay here. Wait a couple of days and go to Kuatha. If we don't come out, make sure you can bargain at least for these assholes to come back. Are you sure you want to go? Yes. Then we walk all the way to Kuatha in a smash cut, and she's like, okay, I know I've asked you like twice, but you need to be really, really sure. Do you really want to go to the underworld? And we're like, yes, we want to go to the underworld. Okay. And then Ishtar just fucking blows up the ground.
I like the whole sequence of her powering up Mana, and you're just like, oh no. Me just looking at this, I'm like, oh no, she's about to blow something up.
And
she's really about to blow something.
Once again, I believe Fujimaru ends up a cushion. Mash lands on top of him this time. And Ishtar's just fine. She's just like, yep, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. So we wander around the underworld. We get some... earlier it was explained to basically chain summon that because Ishtar was summoned, Ereshkigal was summoned as well. They kind of talk about the backstory. Ishtar is the queen of the underworld. Ishtar is the queen of heaven, sorry. Ereshkigal is the queen of the underworld. They're like equal but opposite kind of thing. Da Vinci drops the theory that they may have originally been one deity, which is like an actual archaeological theory. So naturally, when Ishtar was summoned, Eresh was summoned also, which is why she's here, because before this, we established that because it's a singularity, Ishtar, because she was summoned into it, should be the only actual Babylonian deity here. But Eresh is here too, and she rules the underworld. And then we get to learn about underworld stuff. It's really dark down here, it sucks, it's cold, there's these souls in cages. Ishtar reminds you that Eresh is a creepy goth child, and she's like, yeah, she just keeps the souls of humans she likes in cages for like 1,000,000 billion years. No biggie.
It's all good.
It's not creepy or gross or anything. They have the typical sister banter, like, Ishtar's the preppy one, and she's like, yeah, my goth sister is so gross. It's like the weirdest. And you're just like, I don't know. But we wander around. The plan is to just get Gil, and Ishtar is like, yo, I can't do jack shit down here. I have bad memories of this place because I completely lost. She went through the 7 gates, she was stripped of all of her authority, she was dragged before Eresh could go naked and stabbed with spears, which is why Eresh is a lancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, she gives the short version of her myth, which is like, yeah, I was riding high after taking over the mountain. I thought I could just do whatever I wanted, and I couldn't. It sucks down here, and I don't want to really be here, but I have to, because I'm the only one who knows the way. And they do a little back and forth about the underworld, and they come to the first gate, and everybody's like, so are they going to do the gate thing? Oh, and they do. She's like, yeah, so don't worry about it. We're just going to go through the gates. It's going to weigh the measure of your soul. It's no big deal. And then just the way they did this with using Eresh's voice It's my personal imagining that Aresh is like on her underworld PA system, just leaning in and going like, "Who is prettier?" Because it's just that slow way. It's almost like remember how Lancelot was written in the Halloween event, where he's Saberlot, but he's pretending to be Berserker Lancelot, so he's like, "Shut up!" It's like that's how Aresh's lines are read, and it's great.
It's like she's trying to be kind of monotone. I am this impartial judging.
I am the voice of the gate. I am definitely not Aresh punking my sister from behind the curtain. So there's no fights, and this section actually goes by quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a good thing, because otherwise it would have taken a whole episode. Because in case you forgot, there were 7 gates. There was literally a boss battle at every gate, no matter what you said.
And even they still fucking had skipped like 3 of the gates, I think.
Yeah, they go from like 1 to like 6. They go from the first gate to Ishtar is tiny.
Yeah.
Which, like, on the one hand, okay, they could have shown the transition in like maybe a montage form, but when you take out the fights, the gates are a really repetitive joke, right? Like, it's just different variations on, hey, who do you like better? Ishtar or Ereshkigal? Well, obviously Ereshkigal's the right answer, because Ishtar immediately turns on Fujimaru and is like, the answer is obvious, isn't it? So he tries to answer Ishtar, but then she tries to cross the gate and gets fucking exploded.
And we get the best ass shot before it.
Yeah, a lot of love is put into Ishtar's animations, even as she just walks around and then just, and she just, anime just I'm dead noises, and so Fujimaru's like, my answer is Ereshkigal.
Oh no, the best part is when after Ishtar gets zapped, the gate just goes baka. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yes. There's another one of those lines later we'll get to. Though, first, there were many great reaction shots, because when the question first gets dropped, Mash and Foe is like, that's an extremely difficult question. And I'm like, is it, Mash? Is it? But yeah, so, then we smash cut to gate 6, and Ishtar is so tiny she's riding on the back of Foe. Even though she can still fly, she's just riding on the back of Foe, because she's so tiny. And then she basically... Well, first, I just watched this today, but I think the order of events is they're talking about the stuff, and she's complaining about it, like, are you really alright like that? And then just, out of the darkness, Gil just emerges from the shadows. He came here to laugh at you.
It's true.
But yeah, so Gil has some great lines in here. He's explaining how he escaped the BOOGALOO spirits. He hid in the shadows and activated presence concealment, and they walked right by. But he says he picks Ishtar up by, like, her hair thing, I guess? Because she doesn't have, like, a collar.
I don't know.
I don't know. She can fly, so maybe it was by the hair, and she just, was levitating herself enough that it didn't hurt. But in the subs, it's translated as saying, but upon seeing this, what was it exactly? It was this somehow quite adorable Ishtar. I couldn't help but laugh. And I'm just like, that's very interesting of you to say, Gil. But yeah, so there's some great animation of just angry gremlin Ishtar just wiggling around in Gil's fingers, because she really wants to kick his ass, but she can't because she's tiny. And she explains the whole thing, basically, because she has no extra authorities to give up, read, clothes. I don't know, maybe because it's on TV, they skipped the fact that they didn't mention that she was stripped naked, but they maybe skipped the fact that she was supposed to be stripping through each level.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's not necessarily an important detail of the story, but basically, her divinity is reduced through every gate, and she gets smaller until we're here.
Yes.
And Gil is like, very well, you are here. I'm technically dead, so we have to beat Ishtar so I can get out, because I can't leave. Let's move on to the next gate. Don't even ask the question to me, the answer is obviously me. Which the gate responds like, no, it's not you. You can just imagine Aresh, like, face-palming in the background, just like this. Even though, as they continue on, Gil elucidates about Ereshkigal's character, because Mash asked about her, and we get their backstory. So it's like, Ishtar is the one who always got everything she wanted. Aresh is the goddess who never wanted for anything. She was assigned to the creation of control of the underworld, like, immediately after her birth, and has literally not been able to leave. She has been the divine janitor for years and keeps this thing running, and it's very lonely. And, like, there's not a single gorgeous thing in this underworld. Basically building up that pathos as you get down in there. Because we get to the very bottom, and it's like, good, we're coming up on Ereshkigal's palace. And it's just a pile of sand. And so Fujiwara's like, there's literally fucking nothing here. And Gillis like, yeah, what did I tell you? It's the underworld, dude. It sucks. It sucks down here. It sucks butts. We have to eat sand. And I was kind of wondering if they did it, but they did actually do giant ghost Ereshkigal.
It looks like they're... Well, like, honestly, like,
Well, I mean, they did it right. They did it like she appears, like, out of an altar as a spooky ghost lady.
Yeah, well, as I said, like, I was convinced that they're gonna do spooky ghost because part of the fun is Ereshkigal trying to reveal herself, and the master going, yeah, I knew that. And her being, like, flustered.
Which we know he knows because there's a moment where he flashes back to Ishtar, and he's like, so back then. Because Ishtar spills the beans that, like, Eresh may have been able to manipulate her body on the surface at times.
Yeah.
So the master puts 2 and 2 together.
But
I was just wondering if they would even bother with the Great Ghost thing, or just use, like, because assuming there will be an actual confrontation, if they would just use her in-game, like, use her actually fighting, because we know what her attack animations and stuff are now.
Like I said, like, they might
sprite at the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what they do. Either way works, I think.
Yeah, like, I don't know. They could just skip the whole confrontation and just go straight into the reveal, or they could have a sick ass battle sequence. Actually, I don't know which way they're going to swing on that.
Yeah, because even in this one, they squeaked in some action where they upped the animation quality just so Ishtar could blow up the ground a little.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's just her Buster attack. Not using her NP yet. I'm pretty sure they'll bust that one out when she actually has to destroy a huge chunk of ground to throw Tiamat into the underworld. But I think that's why they did it, because they're setting up foreshadowing for later. There's a lot of foreshadowing in this, which is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see if they just spooky Eresh, and then Fujiwara's like, hey Eresh, this isn't what you look like. Stop kidding. And she's like, oh, wah, 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 wah. Because that's an Eresh noise. Confused Eresh noises.
I'm really hoping we get to hear confused Eresh noises.
We probably will, because we're actually going to get to see Eresh normally. And
yes,
this is going to be the only time we get to see her until, like, the climax, so hopefully they get some good Eresh time in. Yeah, I didn't even watch, like, the preview of the next episode. But yeah, so we're in the, like, 2 episodes probably, because they basically skipped all the gate stuff. We're going to do 2 episodes for Eresh, and then it's going to be like, okay, now we got everybody together. We got to fight the Gorgon.
Yeah, the axe should be showing up. Merlin is going to come up with a plan to throw the axe. He's going to use the spell. Arturia, it's dinner time.
That's going to be funny to see. I wonder if Foe will say something in that moment. References. But yeah, so it's Babylonia, still very good. A good place to pick up after a break. I noticed on Funimation's website they didn't even show the recap episodes. I think they just aired on TV in Japan. Like, the recaps aren't even part of the episode list, which is good. Keep everything focused. And they've done a pretty good job, I think, of keeping everything here concise, but not necessarily over-compacting it. Like, they did enough with the gate thing to be like, no, it's still a moment of levity, it's still a joke, but they don't overplay it, because in the terms of, and we've talked about this before with other alterations, in the terms of pacing a TV show where you've only got like 20 minutes or whatever, if they literally did all 7 gates worth of jokes, that would be way too much all at once. You know? Okay. Yeah, so for the audience for that last bit there, I was asking you that, like, it probably would have been, like, too much if they went and did, like, literally all 7 gate jokes at once, right? Like, one after the other. Because without battles to break them up, that would just be literally the same joke 7 times in a row.
Well, I think they could have, honestly, I think they could have done it. But instead, it's Aresh just listing the questions and then concerned master faces. And
yeah, I guess that was the other thing I was going to say once upon a time, was they could also have done it as a montage, but I think this flows quicker for the pace they're setting.
Yeah, as I said, we gotta remember this is an adaptation, so they can't go one for one. They have to make do with the time and the budget they have, even if it's a fuck ton of budget. But hey, they're spending that budget on Ishtar Ash, so I'm like, thumbs up. So yeah, but like honestly, like I said, like they got the first one out, they added the appropriate levels of comedy to it, because as I said, like I've harped on this note many times, I know, but Babylonia was just as much tension breaks as it was rampant tension, like especially before we fully get into Act 3.
Yeah,
and so like I'm glad that like even if they're not doing all of them, they're still trying to fit the ones in that make the most sense.
Yeah, because that's just you talk about that's just part of the pacing is you need the natural rise and fall of tension, and with as many episodes as there are and as much content as there is in Babylonia, you can't actually have it constantly be ramping tension. Otherwise, your audience is going to get too stressed. They're going to be too tense. It's not going to have the appropriate feel. It's going to be like very draining, and that's not what this is. Babylonia is kind of a slog. It's a lot of work to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, you should feel like you had to do a lot of work, not just fell down a roller coaster or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm glad they got him because as one Lucky is a fan of the comedic and the sass. And I said, like, they've kind of cut off quite a bit of it for the adaptation, which I'm not going to complain about too much because, as I said, they have their own limits that they have to get in. They have to get through all of Babylonia, all the exposition, like the major battles. Because here's the thing, like there's a lot of exposition in Babylonia. Otherwise, you just don't get things. Especially considering this is an anime that's literally the last singularity before the finale.
Yeah.
They have to I think they've actually done a fairly good job so far of like calling back to previous singularities, letting know what's up with Solomon, like the Atlas Institute and Camelot, all these things, while still like maintaining their pace. Like I'm pretty sure there's at least one exposition dump per episode for something.
Yeah, basically it's like there's going to be two things you're going to get in every episode of Babylonia. One, somebody's going to exposit about something because that's how it's paced. It's Nasu. There's a lot of expo speak. And second, there's going to be some kind of action scene, even if that's just Ishtar charges up an attack and explodes some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like there will be some amount of high action animation.
Yeah. So, like I said, for what they got to work, as I said, Babylonia is. Well, it's VN style, but it's still very text heavy.
Yeah, it's long. It's like multiple tens of thousands of words. Like I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000. I don't know.
Like when I read the Babylonia end game, it still took me like 4 hours of just reading through the visual novel to get through it. No battles, just reading. So
I think Babylonia there might have been some story-only pips in Camelot, but yeah, I think Babylonia was the one where they really started doing that, where it's just like, yeah, there's no fights, just, this is all talking. Here, have a St. Courts at the end.
Ta-da!
You were a good boy. Get your good boy points for listening.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm excited. As I said, this week's episode
I'm just thinking about all the cool action scenes that are even now yet to come.
Oh, God.
Because, I'm just thinking about how shitty the underworld is, and then we're going to do something there, and it's going to be great.
I do find, I am slightly concerned, because apparently it is below zero in the underworld.
Oh, well, yeah, when I was going to mention that earlier, when Aresh summons herself, she makes it super cold, because she is the goddess of the underworld, so it's like, the barometric pressure goes up higher. I'm not an expert on my conversions, but Romani says it's like 500 hectopascals or something. I'm like, what's that in atmospheres? It's a lot though. I don't know. But also the temperature drops to because of the wind chill factor and etc. It drops to -6 degrees. Did they say Celsius or Fahrenheit? It would probably be Celsius, but they might have but these were official English subs. They might have transliterated it, converted it to Fahrenheit. I don't know. It was fucking cold. Romani made sure to shout that it was the limit of habitability, and that Fujimaru had to get out of there quick. So we'll see how quick we get out of there.
Yeah. Oh, also, slight tangent. Now Lucky remembers why he didn't level any servants. It's because I was putting all those embers into Tamamo.
Oh yeah, because you're on your Grail quest, basically.
Yeah, and actually, I just finished Tamamo. She is now level 100.
Nice.
Yes.
I haven't started grailing Eresh yet because I have so many new servants. Oh my god. Fucking, I think my Hozoin is still level 1, and I finally got him, like, on one of the rando tickets of Thanksgiving, maybe? Or something? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I had that guy for a while. He's at, like, NP 2 or 3 now, and I'm like, fuck, dude. So many. Karna's, like, 86, I think, right now. Like, it's just... Oh, it takes so much EXPs. I've been bitching about this a lot, but for the love of God, Delightworks, give me an all day or invent extra class hands or some shit. Like, I have finished leveling Hokusai, but I still have to finish off Abby, like get her all the way to 90. And then I've got Lobo and Melt left. And I'm just like, for the love of God, Delightworks, I need something for these guys. It's just, I'm wasting so much potential EXP here. Some of which I need. Like, I've got a lot of new servants, so they're spread across a lot of classes. So I'm just like, fuck, dude. I guess I don't need to level any Berserkers right now. Other than that, for the love of God, I wish I had, like, just a way to drop alls or extras. Yeah. I don't have a refusal, Robin. It's just that I liked, because of the bonus EXP, I like to use those for the appropriate servants. So I'm like, well, let's see. I have a Lancer and I have an extra class. And I've got a shitload of Lancer EXPs. I guess I'm going to put him towards the Lancer so this doesn't take forever. So it's just like, I would prefer to be able to optimize the farming for my extras just like I do all the other classes. But no, alas, I cannot.
I have a level 100 Tamamo. Yeah!
Go you. Thumbs up.
Go me. Thumbs up. Now I gotta start working on the next 2. Yay.
Did you work on a thumbnail?
No! Lucky might be putting away his phone and opening up things. I guess I'll do a CE. I'll do a CE for the middle, I guess. Because on one side, it's gonna be Da Vinci. The other side, Shinjuku. Jalter in the middle. CE. Boom. The plan has been set.
Alright, Lucky's gonna work on that for a while.
It shouldn't take me long. I hope. Please.
Man, there's a lot of people posting. I should probably mute some of these channels. Though, speaking of faffable stuff, Discord has a lovely new function where you can temporarily mute. So, for instance, I can just mute anime and manga for 1 hour.
Oh, neat.
And so, in an hour, it'll just unmute itself. But for now, I can safely ignore it.
I just keep it muted because they make me sad inside sometimes.
Well, also, now you rearrange it so it's at the top, so...
Yeah. Alphabetize!
Well, that was all alphabetized. Nobody really seems to have enjoyed General being moved, but they got used to it.
The human condition. Okay, let's see here. Where?
But that might just be because it's super humid outside, so it's not, like, cool, but it's not hot enough that the air kicks on.
I like you say how it's humid, and like over here on the in the Pacific Northwest, we're probably gonna get snow Monday.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've talked about Babylonia, so there's not really anything else I think to talk about. Lucky's gonna go make a thumb and gonna go stream. I gotta edit this. Maybe I'll hang out for the stream. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I think the only real thing to talk about is that it took me a couple of days to get it all sorted out, because sickness, but I did fire up the topic poll for January 2020. 120. Which means that in April there's going to be a very funny poll.
Heck.
But actually shocking, despite adding What is a Lost Belt, currently What is a Grail War and How Do They Work is winning by, I think, a couple of votes. Got about 50% of the overall vote, so... There's still some days left, because I like to set it to be about 2-ish weeks of poll time. You know, one to allow any new patrons who want to join in at the 5 and up level to get in on that poll. If they do it in the middle of the month. And just to make sure everybody who can vote does vote and filter in. We haven't been posting a lot of videos, so it should be pretty easy to find on our Patreon page right now. That'll change a little bit. Oh, and that reminds me, last week there was some kerfuffle with getting the audio posted because, as I like to joke to patrons, 200 megabytes is a lie, because Patreon says you can upload up to 200 megs, But really that's more like 190. I know because my computer tells me how big the files are. So last week's episode was too big to upload directly, so I ported it over to Mega, which is what I usually do. But I'm going to assume it's a recent problem because I've done a couple of What's Up audios over the years onto Mega as well and not heard any complaints. But it was broken for Patreon, so I had to relink people because it wouldn't let me edit. So you'll be darn sure that next time Patreon asks me for some feedback, I'm going to be like, hey, can we up the upload limit so that it's actually 200 megabytes, and B, can we get some better cross-linking? In future, though, if they don't fix that anytime soon, I'll just keep it in mind to avoid breakages.
Damn, Vinci, you got some thick thighs, girl.
Yes, she does. Everybody get ready for your return of Da Vinci tap memes. Because Lotto with Da Vinci.
That left boob, yo.
I clenched my mic arm a little bit there.
That was a pretty long one, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was holding a pen and I accidentally tapped the back of my microphone. I'm like, oh, that's very loud.
That is very loud.
I didn't mean it to be that loud. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
But, alright, I think we have talked about everything there is really to talk about. Other than that, just as I'm seeing from our art dump right now, there is still too much Yang to handle. There's literally too much.
They ain't stopping.
No, they're not. She's super popular. It's very interesting. Just to see how that kind of develops. But her art is continuing to explode. So, yeah. Anyway, I think we are about done with the show. Lackey, you got any final thoughtsus?
Can't talk. Must thumbnail.
Right, okay. So his final thoughts are thumbnail related. Well then, I guess there's nothing to do. We managed to stretch out the episode to be like an hour 20 in the raw audio. Some of that'll be edited down, because there were a couple of big ghostos in there. Giant ghost bosses. Shoot, that reminds me, I gotta call this episode something. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I guess we'll just go ahead and wind down. And do remember, obviously, next week we'll be back for more Let's Talk FGO. Hopefully this weekend we'll have a What's Up recording. We probably should. I'm starting to feel better. I don't know if it'll be super long, but it'll exist. And, yeah, so keep tuned for all that stuff. You probably don't have any other extra video content FGO related to worry about other than that. Maybe there will be, there might need to be a news video about the Setsubun event, but probably not. Next week we'll probably be doing Setsubun pregame to let you know the rules, because a lot of people are confuzzled by that, even though the event happened 2 years ago. Or maybe that's why they're confused. I can never be sure. So look forward to that next week, along with more of the usual. I think the New Year's rerun will be done by then, so we'll see whatever the heck Japan does. Right? Let me double check that date real quick. But yeah, otherwise stay tuned for stuff. But there won't be any special videos. Yes, Daily Report of Sparrow's Inn ends in about a week, so hopefully they'll have announced what's next. But don't look forward to any Wanteds until much later in the month, whenever Valentine's happens. It should be pretty early into February, if not even the last couple of days in January. We'll see how that all shakes out. So obviously there'll be that, and stay tuned for other stuff. Like I said, got some interesting plans for Wanted in the future, and we'll hit you up with other videos we do about stuff as stuff happens. If you like this video and are watching it on YouTube, be sure to give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also join our Discord. That link is in the description or on our channel page. As always, our community constantly talks about how nice it is there, and it's great, and they love it. They are not brainwashed. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to always get our latest. We're at about 2,250, so if we get to 2,500 subs, we'll do another live episode. Just keep that in mind, people. Tell your friends. You want more live episodes? Pyramid scheme more people into subbing. That's how it works. Anyway, that's a good way to get access to all of our latest videos. And hey, you want to make sure you never miss a video or a stream, consider hitting that bell for notifications, even if you're already subscribed. That way you know whenever we post a video, whether it's suddenly posting a news desk at noon or midnight, or Lucky decides to stream or something. You'll get an alert. It's great. It's convenient. It's helpful. Make sure to set it to all. That's apparently a thing. YouTube knows when you set it to sometimes, and not always. Which means we know, because YouTube knows. YouTube knows lots of things, kids. And of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon, you can get access to episodes early in audio format for only $1 a month, and lots of other goodies, such as at higher levels, you can listen to the show live, like several of our lovely patrons did today.
Super lovely.
We're part of the live chat. All that fun stuff. And, generally it helps us out and whatnot. So, yeah. I guess we're done. Are you still too much thumbnail to have a final thought, or are you done?
Behold! The Vinci thighs!
Okay. Alright, well, that's the show. So, we'll see you next week for more Let's Talk FGO. And hopefully later this week for What's Up. Bye, everybody.
Lucky out.